Hello, the big question on everyone's mind continues to be whether the lockdown is going to be extended after the 14th or not. It's almost certainly the case that you're not going to have business as usual or life returning to complete normal after the 14th. That's virtually, almost certainly completely ruled out. But to what extent will the lockdown persist? Now, the Prime Minister did have a conversation with many opposition leaders today. There's going to be a video conference with chief ministers of various states on the 11th, and presumably that's when the final decision will be taken. The decision will also depend on the actual curve that we are seeing of cases in India. If the rates of daily cases are going to be at around 500 and keeping flat at that level as they are right now, maybe there could be one decision. But if the rates start to increase, then of course we may well have a far more extensive lockdown. In the meantime, today we did see another development in a city like Mumbai, which of course is one of the hardest hit from corona, which may well set a trend for other parts of the country. The Mumbai Municipal Corporation for Greater Mumbai has said that if anybody steps out of their house or attends a meeting or goes in public transport, does anything without wearing a mask, that person could be arrested. So you have to wear a mask if you're stepping out of your house. That may well be a rule that we're going to see extended to other parts of the country as well. Do remember, some of the countries like Japan or South Korea or even Singapore, countries which have a tradition of mask wearing, are doing a little bit better than other countries when it comes to dealing with the coronavirus. Let's just quickly show you all the major headlines.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has told an all-party meet that by all accounts, it will not be possible to end the lockdown on April 14th. BJD's Pinaki Mishra, who attended the meet via video, told news agency PTI that the Prime Minister made it clear that lockdown will not be lifted in one go on April 14th. Mishra added that Prime Minister told the leaders that pre-corona and post-corona life won't be same. Massive behavioral, social and personal changes will have to take place, the PM reportedly told political leaders in the video conference.
The government is likely to take a final call on extending the lockdown to deal with the coronavirus outbreak after Prime Minister Narendra Modi's second meeting with chief ministers via video conference on Saturday, NDTV reported. The Prime Minister will discuss with chief ministers about a way forward after April 14th. Many states, including UP and Telangana, are in favour of extending the lockdown as the cases rose past 5,000 mark on Wednesday. The government is reportedly in favour of removing the restrictions in a graded manner.
The Mumbai Municipal Corporation has made it mandatory for people stepping out of their homes to wear masks to check the spread of coronavirus disease COVID-19. A notification issued by world's richest civic body said that anyone not wearing the masks can be charged and may be arrested by police. It also asked all the officers to attend meetings wearing masks only. The BMC order further said that the measure was necessitated as studies have revealed that wearing face masks can substantially reduce the spread of coronavirus from and to persons coming in contact with each other. India has recorded 149 deaths linked to coronavirus, with 35 dying in the last 24 hours alone. The latest data from the Union Health Ministry takes the total number of COVID-19 cases in the country past the 5,000 mark to 5,194. This is the biggest spike in both the number of cases and deaths. COVID-19 hotspots in 15 Uttar Pradesh districts will be completely shut down till April 15th to contain the spread of the coronavirus infection. Stringent restrictions will come into effect at midnight in these pockets, which, according to the Union Health Ministry, have reported 326 COVID-19 cases and 3 deaths till Wednesday morning. Gautam Budh Nagar, which houses Noida, and Ghaziabad are among the 15 districts. Other districts include Lucknow, Meerut, Agra and Varanasi. Officials said all these 15 districts have 6 or more cases each. Some reports said only home delivery of essentials and medicines will be allowed.
The centre is deliberating on keeping farmers and farming outside the purview of the lockdown amid demands for the shutdown extension, IANS reported, quoting government sources. The news agency said Agriculture Minister Tomar will hold discussions with states' agriculture ministers through video conferencing on Wednesday. With 70% of rural households dependent primarily on agriculture for their livelihood and about 83.3 crore people living in rural areas, Tomar's response is extremely crucial at a time when the farmers are confined to their homes even as their harvest is left unattended.
Congress leader Rahul Gandhi has called for giving relief to farmers during the COVID-19 lockdown by allowing them to harvest crops while maintaining safety. He said this is the only way out as the farmers are facing a double whammy. The former Congress president said that the rabi crop stands ready in the fields, but harvesting of the crop due to the lockdown is difficult. He'd earlier called for adopting a nuanced approach to tackle the situation in India, as the situation here is different than other nations.
The Supreme Court on Wednesday asked the government to ensure free testing for patients with COVID-19 symptoms by creating a mechanism to reimburse private labs. This will ensure that people do not have to pay, the top court said. The centre informed the court that almost 15,000 tests were being done in 118 labs, but that was not sufficient, so some private labs had to be roped in. Supreme Court further added that centre will create a mechanism to reimburse private labs. About 40 crore workers in India working in the informal economy are at risk of falling deeper into poverty during the COVID-19 pandemic crisis. The International Labour Organization has said in a report on Wednesday that the COVID-19 pandemic is affecting 2.7 billion workers globally due to lockdowns, IANS has reported. In India, almost 90% of people work in the informal economy. Without appropriate policy measures, workers face a high risk of falling into poverty, the report said.
US President Donald Trump on Tuesday said he would put a hold on America's funding to the World Health Organization, accusing it of becoming China-centric during the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Slamming the World Health Body for criticizing his ban on travel from China, Trump said his administration is going to look into the US funding to the WHO. The United States is the largest contributor to the organization.
The night sky in Wuhan turned bright with a light show to mark the end of a lockdown that was imposed to tackle the novel coronavirus. Bridges and buildings along the Yangtze River were lit up as onlookers watched and cheered. Skyscrapers displayed animated images of health workers aiding patients. Residents will be allowed to move in and out of Wuhan after 11 weeks, but there's a catch. They will have to show that they are healthy and have not come in contact with anyone confirmed to have the virus through a smartphone application and government surveillance.
Hydroxychloroquine, the anti-malarial drug that US President Donald Trump touts as cure for coronavirus patients, has become one of the most sought-after drugs worldwide, and India has found itself in the middle of its heightened demand. After America, it is now Brazil that is asking for its export, and in a unique style. Invoking Lord Ram, Brazil President Jair Bolsonaro wrote to Prime Minister Modi saying, "Just as Lord Hanuman brought the holy medicine from the Himalayas to save the life of Lord Ram's brother Lakshman, and Jesus healed those who were sick and restored the sight to Bartimeo, India and Brazil will overcome this global crisis by joining forces and sharing blessings for the sake of all peoples."